Thank you for joining us for College Commons Week as we explore the next steps in the college admissions process. My name is Janine Coutu and I'm with the College Foundation of West Virginia. We are extremely excited to host our second annual College Commons Week event, an opportunity that allows us to work together with college campuses to help students navigate the college-going process. This afternoon, we are pleased to announce that a representative from West Liberty University has joined us for this webinar series. Joining us from West Liberty University's Office of Admissions is Admissions Counselor Kyle Patrick. Thank you for joining CFWB for this new statewide initiative. Through this initiative, we aim to help West Virginia students and families prepare for and transition to college. As I get ready to turn the presentation over to our presenter, I ask that you use the chat box to ask any questions you may have throughout our time together this afternoon. Staff will address those questions and ensure that they are answered before we conclude today's webinar. This webinar is being recorded and will be made available on cfwb.com later this week. With that said, Kyle, welcome, and now I turn this webinar over to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. As she said, my name is Kyle Patrick. I am an admissions counselor at West Liberty University. It's a pleasure to be with you guys here this afternoon, just to tell you a little bit about West Liberty University, kind of what we're all about, and also go over some next steps for seniors out there who maybe still haven't applied and maybe haven't done some housing applications and some registration stuff like that as well. It's never too late to get into those processes, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But the first part of the presentation, you're going to hear a quick little video from our president and kind of tell you a little bit about West Liberty University, and then we'll get into those next steps and what to look out for here as we head into the summer months. So first, we'll go ahead and get started with this video, welcoming our new president of West Liberty University, Dr. W. Franklin Evans.
I am W. Franklin Evans, the 37th president of West Liberty University. Many things that caught my attention about the position of president at West Liberty University. The fact that it is an historic institution, over 184 years old, the first in West Virginia. The fact that it is in the northern panhandle, close to Ohio, Pennsylvania, nestled in these wonderful hills. But I've got to tell you, it is the intrinsic feeling that you have on campus. The students are amazing, but the faculty and staff have been so welcoming. I tell people that being here at West Liberty, I find people to be friendly, not cordial. And there is a difference. I think that the environment here is family oriented, that once you are a part of the campus, you feel a part of this family. The people here are genuinely caring, genuinely concerned, genuinely kind. We feel like we are a part of this family. So I've got brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, even my own children as a part of the extended family right here at West Liberty University. Hands down, West Liberty University is the place to be. One of the things I found out is that this is a place where the education really and truly is affordable. It is affordable excellence. But know that you're going to get a quality education, that the experiences and opportunities that you will encounter here at West Liberty University are second to none. We have some phenomenal professors who are providing cutting-edge instruction for our students. Professors that could be anywhere else, but they've chosen to be here at West Liberty University. So I'm looking forward to doing some amazing things. Certainly I want to connect with the current students, the faculty and staff here. I want to engage our alumni. I want to make West Liberty a household word, not only in this area, throughout the state and the region, so that a degree from West Liberty University really and truly means something. So I think that together, collectively, we're going to move this institution farther than anyone could have imagined. West Liberty really is the place to be.
Awesome. Yeah, as you can tell, we're super excited to have him on campus with us as our new president, and we can't wait to see the amazing things that our future has. And as he said, we are in a unique location. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but there's a good overhead campus shot there for you on our safe and beautiful campus. So we'll get right into the location. As he mentioned, and I mentioned a little bit, we are in a very unique location, say West Virginia. If you haven't ever been to West Liberty or anything, we're just basically outside of Wheeling, West Virginia, about 10 minutes north of Wheeling. But we're in that awesome part of the state where we basically would draw a line in between Pennsylvania and Ohio. So we are very, very close, an hour to Pittsburgh, 2 hours to Columbus, and really gives our students an opportunity to experience the big city living, just being able to hop in a car and get there in a couple hours. And a lot of our students actually have taken internships in these bigger cities as well. But a little bit about our student body and what represents West Liberty, or what is represented on the campus of West Liberty University. On a normal year, we have students from 30 different countries. Obviously, with the pandemic and travel-related issues, that number's come down a little bit. But on a normal year, we are well represented with over 30 countries on our campus. We also have students, believe it or not, from 30 states in the country of the United States as well. So it's a lot more diverse here than you would think. And yes, you're going to see a lot of West Virginia students, a lot of Ohio and Pennsylvania, but we also expand throughout the state of West Virginia as well. We have over 48 counties represented at West Liberty, 48 of the 55 this past year. So if maybe you're coming into college and you're not exactly sure what you want to major in yet, that's completely fine. It's completely okay. Don't freak out. Don't panic. Don't think you have to have a major picked when you're coming into college. And believe it or not, majority of college students end up changing their majors anyway once they get onto campus. But it's nice to know here at West Liberty University we have endless opportunities in the classrooms for you to pick up a major, pick up a minor, whatever it may be. And we're blessed to have over 70 programs. And we'll talk a little bit more about these majors here in a second. But these are the colleges that we have on campus that our majors are housed in. We do have a College of Arts and Comm, Gary E. West College of Business, one of our more popular colleges on campus right now. College of Education and Human Performance. We, as you heard Dr. Evans talk, we are the oldest institution of higher learning in the state of West Virginia. That's something we take a lot of pride in. And when we were founded way back in 1837, we were founded as an education school. So that's our backbone, it's our foundation. We also have a very strong College of Liberal Arts. And then our College of Sciences, it's an award-winning college, and our health sciences is probably some of our best majors are housed in that college. So talk a little bit about some of our unique majors. So these are all the majors that you're going to see that are going to flash across your screen here in the different colleges. Just going to kind of quickly go through these and just to see if anything would pop out to you and something that maybe will raise your eyebrow a little bit that might make you curious in coming to West Liberty to study one of these programs. So our College of Arts and Communication, if you like hands-on opportunities, class, where you're not just sitting in the classroom, you're actually, you're in the field, and these are the programs you're going to find: the broadcasting, the music technology, visual communication design, which is just our digital media design. We just call it visual communication design. Creative arts therapy is a new program. But we also have some standard, some old staple majors like journalism. If you wanted to be a newspaper editor, something like that, we have those programs as well. I mentioned earlier, the Gary E. West College of Business, one of our more popular programs, one of our most popular colleges on the campus. And this is where you're going to find, yes, we have general business as a major, but all of these listed here are majors. It's pretty rare to come to a small school and find a school that has all these different concentrations that you can major in underneath the College of Business. So you're not just graduating with a degree in business, you're graduating specifically in, whether it be accounting or marketing or sport management. The opportunities are endless. As I mentioned earlier, college education is kind of our backbone, our foundation, what we got started on. So anything, from being an elementary teacher to, secondary education, community education is a popular one here on our campus as well. Health and physical education. You wouldn't think it, but exercise physiology actually falls underneath the College of Education as well here at West Liberty University. So, if you wanted to get into athletic training or physical therapy, that's a great undergrad path for you to go into to set yourself up to go to grad school. And we actually have a phenomenal exercise physiology program with a master's program in athletic training to go with it as well. So it's a 3+3 program that you can do 3 years undergrad and 3 years master's degree here at West Liberty University. You don't have to go to a big school to pursue your master's. You can get it all here. Liberal arts. So this is where you're going to find, your histories, your political sciences, social works, increasingly popular major these days as well. But our most popular major in the College of Liberal Arts is definitely criminal justice. And we're actually finding that a lot of our students that want to go into law school will actually use the criminal justice major to propel themselves into law school and use that as an undergraduate track. So just keep that in mind if you're maybe interested in going to law school one day. As I mentioned, our sciences is a very strong program, and our health sciences are probably the strongest of the bunch. So one of our top known majors that we're known for is dental hygiene, amazing clinic that we have on campus. Our students actually clean teeth their juniors and seniors a year. Medical lab science, nursing, psychology, speech pathology, and audiology. So we have a master's program in dental hygiene and psychology. We have a clinical psychology program. It's the 3+3, as I was mentioned earlier about the XFIS program, very similar. And then we're also in the process of trying to start a speech pathology and audiology master's program as well, which will hopefully be up and running in a couple of years on our campus. College of Sciences. So we're very blessed to have some really, really strong majors in this program as well. Our newest one and one of our more popular ones is zoo science. So if you want to work with animals and you like the zoo setting, that could be a very good major for you. But this is where you're going to find your biologies, your chemistries. If you want to go to be a dentist, we have pre-dental here. We have a program partner with WVU for that program. Pre-medicine, pre-veterinary, you name it, we have it in the College of Sciences. So I do want to talk a little bit about student life. So depending on where you're living, we definitely recommend that you live on campus, especially freshmen. It just really find that our students that live on campus typically do better academically. So keep that in mind, but it is not a necessity. So our students do not have to live on campus. You can choose to commute if you wish to. We have over 50 student clubs and organizations. And if you've ever been to West Liberty, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. We're on the top of a hill in the Northern Panhandle, and there's not a whole lot around us. The town of West Liberty is small itself. So we really rely heavily on our student clubs and organizations to put events on, like SGA hosting events and fraternities and sororities to get stuff going on as well. So there's constantly a ton of different stuff and events going on campus to get our students engaged, get them out of their dorm rooms, and get you involved in college life. We also are a Division II institution, so we can have, we do have sports, and we can give out scholarships for our sports as well, and we'll get into those a little bit later. But, other than that, we do have intramurals, so maybe if you want to continue playing sports like basketball or volleyball or soccer or something like that, but maybe you didn't want to play like for an official team sport, or you didn't get a chance to make the team, you can join an intramural and still get that exercise and the fun of competing. I love this picture. This is one of my favorite pictures we have. So this is a big shot of our quad. The quad is a focal point on the campus of West Liberty University. It is absolutely gorgeous every time of the year. But this is just an example of stuff that goes on. So this was a picture of a movie night. They have a big blow up screen, a projector that comes out for movie night. And all the students will just, bring a blanket, sit on the quad and watch a movie together. It's a really, really fun time. But, Topperfest is going to happen out there. So your first 2 weeks of your freshman year is what we call Topperfest. And basically it's just a good week where, you get acclimated to campus and you get to meet your fellow freshman classmates and everything like that along those lines as well. But like I said, this is where a lot of our main activities are going to happen is out here on the quad. I did mention earlier, we are Division II. So these are the sports that we currently have. You'll notice NCAA rules for every men's sport, you have to have a women's sport to offset. So our sports are equal, but some of the sports are different. So like in terms of the women's sports, we have acrobats and tumbling. Obviously, you're not going to have that on the men's side as well, and then volleyball. But acrobats and tumbling is our newest sport on the women's side. And then our newest sport on the men's side is men's soccer. But other than that, your pretty typical sports, acrobats and tumbling is probably the most unique one that we offer. And it is a newer sport, throughout the country as well. And we're very blessed to have that as well. And then if you are interested in being a student athlete here at West Liberty University, go to our website, hilltoppersports.com. And there's an inquiry form on there. If you want to reach out to one of the coaches, you certainly can do that. And there's our mascot there. We are the Hilltoppers up here on the hilltop. So I mentioned earlier, our freshmen do not have to live on campus, but we do recommend it. So you can see that there, our freshmen are not required to live on campus. And these are just some typical Q&A questions we get. And all of our freshmen and all of our students can have a vehicle on campus as well. So I know some schools across the state, especially, do not let their freshmen have cars on campus. We do. All of our students are allowed to have a car. But other than that, these pictures here that you see on the screen, these are all of our residence halls that we have. So we're very blessed to have quite a few options for our students to live on campus. So we have your typical residence halls that you see here, but we also have about 4 apartment complexes that are spread out our campus as well. So, we have everything from your typical dorm living if you want to live with a roommate, but we're also, since we have so much housing options, we are able to offer single rooms too. So if you didn't want to live with a roommate and you didn't want to pay like an extra fee to buy a single room, we have dorms that are specifically for single room students that don't want to have a roommate. So keep that in mind. There are a lot of benefits of living on campus as well. So as I mentioned, our students that live on campus typically will do better in the classroom. Excuse me. For one, you're a part of the campus community. You are involved. You are getting out. No matter whether you are trying to interact with people or not, you're still going to interact with people. So you are going to get out and you're going to get involved no matter what. So you're involved in that community. As I mentioned, the academic outcomes and the access to resources and activities. So you'll be able to go to the library if you need to print something, or if you need to look up something on our online database in the library, or you just want a quiet place to study. You can do that when you live on campus, because you are just be able to walk. You can walk anywhere on our campus in 5 minutes. It's very, very tight, and it's a really small community. So you can get anywhere in about 5 minutes, but it's nice to know that you're around those resources. And also our Learning and Student Development Center, which houses our tutoring center. There's no shame in getting a tutor, especially in college. There's going to be classes that you struggle with. Personally, when I was a college student, I struggled with math. I knew I just needed to get through this one math class for my major to graduate. So I got a tutor, and it really helped me. For one, I got an A in the class, and the tutor got paid to help me. I didn't have to pay her. The school pays her, which is a good thing to do. If you're doing really well in a class and you want to make a little extra money, you can even tutor our students as well. And that's another thing. On-campus employment. If you want to work on campus and want to earn extra money when you live on campus, you're a little bit better and closer to those opportunities for you as well. And then obviously too, you're going to have easy access to our fitness centers and our dining services as well on campus. So getting a little bit more about the boring stuff of college, but the most important is paying for college and how to pay for college. So I know we're probably mainly seniors here that we're talking to today. So just to let you know, the FAFSA has been extended until July 1st. So if you have not filled out your FAFSA form, you still have time. And there's still opportunities, especially for you West Virginia students, to get that promised scholarship and check around and see if you can still take the ACT or SAT. I know if you're planning on coming to West Liberty, we are going to be offering the ACT residual test, which our students will be able to use for our academic scholarships and for the promised scholarship as well. So keep that in mind. But if you haven't filled out your FAFSA yet, you still have time. So don't panic, but definitely try to get it done here in the next couple weeks or so. And then obviously, when you felt that FAFSA, that's how you're going to get help from the government. And just remember, grants are money that is granted to you. It's gifted to you. You don't have to pay that back. So you want to make sure you felt that FAFSA, because you never know what you're going to be eligible for. A lot of people don't realize that West Virginia ranks in the top 10 of the 50 states across the country of giving money to their students to stay in the state of West Virginia and attend a state institution. So with the Promise, with the higher education grant, the Pell Grant, there's a ton of money out there that West Virginia gives to their students every year. So definitely take advantage of that. And if you haven't filled the FAFSA, make sure you do that. And then, like I mentioned, it's never too late to get one of our scholarships either. So we operate on rolling admission. So if you haven't even been accepted yet, there's still time, and we'll get to that here in a second. But you can keep taking the ACT, SAT up until the week of classes start, and we will continue to update your package, your financial aid package. And if you qualify for a higher scholarship, we'll knock that off your bill. And you can see these are just the numbers we're looking for. So we need the GPA and either the ACT or SAT. We don't need them both, just one or the other between the ACT or SAT for you to be eligible for the money that you see there. And then obviously too, you can see the big discrepancy between the in-state and out-of-state money. And that's because at that point, our in-state kids are going to be getting the Promise as well. So once you're at that presidential level, you will be receiving the Promise. So you can add that $4,000, whatever it is, onto that price there. And then keep in mind as well, out-of-state tuition is a lot more expensive than in-state. So that's why their money is a little bit higher as well. As I mentioned, we are Division II, so we do give out athletic scholarships. So that again, those are completely awarded by the head coaches, and then we do give out artistic scholarships as well. So if you're interested in marching band, we get every single one of our marching band students gets a scholarship as well. And then additionally, some academic programs like our College of Business gives out scholarships, and you just have to contact them to see what they have available. Emission requirements, as I mentioned, there is still time to get accepted for fall 2021. So we will accept you all the way up until the week after classes start. So there is plenty of time. We definitely don't recommend waiting to that point. But we operate on rolling admissions. So we will accept you all the way throughout the summer. And also keep in mind, we are test optional for fall 2021. So we are not requiring you to have an ACT or SAT score to be accepted to West Liberty University for the fall 2021. For this year, all we are looking for is a 2.0 GPA. And then again, we have no application, we have no deadline. So just head over to westliberty.edu/apply. It is completely free. It takes about 5-10 minutes, and then you can apply to the university, get your transcripts sent over, and we'll get you accepted. So get into a little bit of the next step process. So we are beginning to register our first-time freshmen for classes. So we just started that process a couple weeks ago with orientation coming right up around the corner. So for you seniors that are taking AP credit, we will give you credit for AP classes at West Liberty University as long as you score a 3 or higher on your AP test. So if you come in with an AP test where you scored over a 3, we will give you credit, whether it be English or history, whatever it may be. And then we will accept any dual credit, early entrance, college credit plus courses as well, as long as it is through an accredited institution. But we do need you to send over those official transcripts from that institution once you are completed taking those classes through that institution. Also, our campus is open. Come up and visit us. We are offering individual tours. There's a little QR code there, so if you wanted to go right to the link to sign up for a tour, definitely come up, and you can sit down and get a tour from one of our current students, and then also you can come and sit down with one of our admissions counselors as well, and we'll talk you through any of those admissions processes. And like I said, if you're a senior, it is not too late to start this process. So next step's admission. So this is after you've already been accepted. So if there's any students out there like, hey, I've already been accepted to West Liberty, this is kind of the next things that you're going to need to look out for. We will need your final high school transcript. So as soon as when you graduate from high school, just have your high school counselor send over your official final transcript so we can check your grades from your senior year. Again, if you've taken any dual credit courses, be sure to send in that final college transcript as well. And then if you've taken any of those AP courses and scored a 3 or higher, be sure to pay and get those tests sent to West Liberty as well. Next steps for financial aid. Make sure you fill out the FAFSA for number 1. There's our code, West Liberty code there. So if you are filling out your FAFSA, and like I said, they did extend it, so it's not too late. Our code is 003823. Once you fill out your FAFSA and you've been accepted, you should have received a WLU award letter. You have to return and sign that. And then, apply for, some third-party scholarships. There's a lot of businesses and everything around. Ask your counselors if they know of anything, and we will take those as well. Apply for student employment. So those student employment jobs are now open for next fall. So if you are an incoming freshman for fall 2021 and you want to work on campus, you can go ahead and apply now. Next steps for residence life. So if you want to live on campus, definitely want to get on this soon. You definitely determine if you want to have a roommate, what your preferences are. If you want to live by yourself, whatever it may be. Submit the housing application, and there is a $100 deposit that will cover your entire time at West Liberty University. So it's just a one-time deposit, and then you will get that money back once you leave the institution. Select a meal plan. You'll do this as well. And then when you move in on move-in weekend, you will receive your Topper ID card, which will be your lifeline here on campus. And to find that housing application and all this stuff, just go to westliberty.edu/residence life. Next step for registration. So, you're accepted and everything like that. We want to get you a student schedule. We want to get you registered for classes for the fall. So you want to sign up for freshman orientation, which there'll be numerous days going on based on your college this year. And we are having these on campus this year. So we're super excited to be able to welcome our prospective students back to campus for orientation. Just go to westliberty.edu/freshman 2021. And that's how you'll sign up for orientation. And then after you sign up for orientation, it'll take you to a separate form where you will fill out a class survey form. And that is basically what we go off of to make your schedule for you. And then when you come to orientation, you're going to receive your login for all these West Liberty accounts. You'll meet with offices and departments, and you will receive your final bill through your West Liberty email, which we will get you logged into at orientation as well. Again, if you missed the website, there is the website where you can go and register for freshman orientation. And again, make sure you are accepted before you sign up for this. And there is our contact info. So if you have any questions, definitely reach out to us at the admissions office. And then my name's Kyle Patrick. My email is super similar or super easy to remember. It's just kyle.patrick@westliberty.edu. And now I do believe we have a Q&A.
Wow. Thank you, Kyle. That presentation was filled with a bunch of useful and beneficial information for incoming students and students interested in West Liberty. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat, but I do have a few questions that students have been asking throughout this event this week. I know you mentioned that students will be creating their schedule during new student orientation, but a few questions that we have received is, if a student doesn't like their initial schedule, will they have the opportunity to add or drop classes at a later date?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. So we do typically do a lot of schedule changes throughout the summer. They definitely keep us busy here in the admissions office. But yeah, so basically how we do it is when you sign up for orientation, you submit that class survey form, we'll register you and go ahead and make your schedule. And then during orientation, we will hand you your class schedule. So you will physically get your schedule on orientation. And that's when a chance, you and mom and dad or whoever it may be can, look through your schedule. And if there needs to be any changes, we can certainly do that at orientation.
Great. And since the schedule is being made at orientation, how will students identify their advisor or contact their advisor in the future?
Good question. So we do things a little differently at West Liberty that I'm sure you've maybe have heard throughout the week from different institutions. But so we handle your first time registration here in the admissions office. Myself and another one of our counselors, we do all the scheduling for the first time freshmen. And so we will handle any schedule changes and everything like that. But around midterm is when you will get assigned a academic advisor. And they will be the person that you'll sit down with and make your schedule for the rest of your college career. And it's typically one of your professors that's in your major.
Great, thank you so much. Another question that I have is, I know you mentioned that students are allowed to bring their cars on campus, but for those students who do not have cars, is there a shuttle offered on your campus so they can go to stores or anything nearby?
Unfortunately, we don't offer any type of shuttle at this time. Being at West Liberty, it is a good drive or walk, if you want to go to the store or wherever it may be. But most of our students have no problem, using the buddy system and partnering up with, their roommate or suite mate or just a friend that they know that has a car if they need to get somewhere off of campus. But also, on campus, there's no need to be driving. You can get everywhere walking distance. But if there becomes a situation where you desperately need to get off campus for something, we can certainly arrange you to get a ride.
Great, thank you so much for answering that question. Another question that we've had, if a student has a minor injury or a cold, is there a health center or somewhere on your campus where they can go to?
Yeah, great question, especially during this crazy pandemic that we're in. It's definitely nice to know what resources are going to be available to you in terms of student health. So we do have a full-time student health professional here on campus. She is a registered nurse. Her name is Christy Bennington. She is terrific, and she can basically do all the little things like you would go to the doctor for. Give you like a Z-Pack or antibiotics and stuff like that. If you have a cold or whatever it may be, but or if you twist your ankle and stuff like that, she can certainly give you her opinion, but she might refer you to go, to the hospital or something like that as well. But we are partnered with a institution in Wheeling that's called Doctors Urgent Care. So it's just like basically one of those 24/7 rapid care places. So if there would be a serious issue where the nurse could not assist you right away, or she needed to refer you to somewhere a little bit more where they can deal with more serious issues, we do have that in place, and it's about 10 minutes off of our campus. And then we do, if it hopefully not, but if something would arise where you would need an ambulance, we do have a fire department in the town of West Liberty that does have a e-car access as well. So just nice to know.
Yes, definitely useful information to know. Another question that we have is, what about textbooks? How will students get their textbooks when they go to West Liberty? Do you have an on-campus bookstore? Well, are there resources to help students get?
Yeah, that's a good question. Textbooks, I think, are often something students stress about, and as they should. They're expensive. But basically, when you come to orientation, we get you logged into what we call WINS. So it's just a West Liberty Information Network System. That's basically all it stands for. But this is basically where you're going to find your class schedule. This will be how you register for classes in the future when you meet with your academic advisor. But also in this little tool that we have like a little link that says "Buy your books now." So all of your professors that are going to make you or want you to purchase a book, they will put the book listing in your WINS account. So you can click on there and you can go and find the book. And that's up to you. After that, you can wait till you get to campus your first week and go buy those books at the bookstore. Our bookstore will have every single book that you would need for any of your classes if you want to just buy it there. But they also they price match as well. So if you find it cheaper on a credible site like Barnes and Noble or Amazon or something like that, they will give it to you for the cheaper price as well. But if you wanted to just go online and buy it, you're more than welcome to do that as well. It's typically up to you. Personally, since I'm not too far removed from the college, I graduated in 2019 from West Liberty. I always recommend, I like to give my recommendations to students in terms of books is I recommend you to wait till you go to one of those classes, because typically the professors aren't going to make you have that book the first week of class. They'll give you some time to get the book. So sometimes you might buy a book and then go to class and the professor might be like, you actually don't need the book, or, hey, you can buddy up with somebody and share it and, share the price. So just wait till the first class. And if you need it, you go buy it, but you don't want to be left buying a book that you're never going to use. So I always say wait.
Great, thank you for that wonderful advice. And another question that we would have is, what do the dining options on your campus look like?
Great question. The food's important, right? It's got to be a big thing that you have to like if you're going to like the college. But so typically we just have, what an institution our size would have. So we have your typical, all you can eat style buffet type cafeteria where, they'll have several different options every day for our students to eat at. And of course, it's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then also we have our student union. And then this is where you're going to find like our restaurants. So in there we have a Panera type restaurant where you can get like flatbreads and wraps and stuff like that. And then we have like a Chick-fil-A type style restaurant as well, where you can get like chicken tenders and chicken sandwiches and stuff as well. And then we also have a coffee shop where they sell salads and paninis and a little bit more healthier options as in the student union.
Great, thank you. I know you touched on this previously, but are there federal work study positions available on your campus, and what do those type of employment opportunities look like?
Yeah, so we actually employ over 300 students a year on our campus. And if you come to see where we're located, you understand why. But typically those jobs they're just all throughout our campus. They are how our offices run every day. We have assistants, and we have, especially here in the admissions office, our students give our tours. They help us with filing and stuff like that as well. But also our students work in our food services. If you wanted to be like a barista at the coffee shop, you can do that. Also, athletics is one of our biggest employers for students as well, because they, will take tickets, they'll sell t-shirts, they'll, work at the concession stands during the game and all that different kind of stuff as well. So, yep, we have endless opportunities in student employment.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for answering all of our questions. I think that's all I have for you. Is there anything before we close that you would like to add?
No, if anybody has any questions, please reach out to us. And you can also go to our website. We have a live chat feature Monday through Friday from 8 to 4 as well, if you just wanted a quick question answered. And then also, head over to our social media pages at Discover West Lib. Our YouTube page has a lot of good video content on a lot of our majors as well, to check that out. But other than that, thank you for having me. And it was nice talking to you all.
Great. Well, we want to take the time and thank you, Kyle and West Liberty University, for joining the College Foundation of West Virginia during College Commons Week. Please be sure to reach out to them with any questions that you may have. And thank you for those who have joined us to participate in this webinar series. If we can be of any further assistance, please reach out to us at cfwv.com. Have a great evening, afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much.